It's been just over a year since Instagram launched its Reels feature, which has completely transformed the app, reaffirming the platform's commitment to video content and also skyrocketing the account growth of thousands of creators. In today's video, I'm going to show you step-by-step how I create Instagram Reels, and I also want to address some of the most frequently asked questions I hear about Reels, like business accounts versus creator accounts when it comes to Reels, repurposing content from TikTok, and so much more. Hey there everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Austen and I am a fashion and beauty content creator based in New York City. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you as a subscriber. I upload new videos every Tuesday all about the influencer industry, content creation, and so much more. So if that sounds like you, hit the red button down below, turn on your notifications so that you never miss a video from me, and give me a thumbs up if you learned something today. Now, Instagram Reels was created to compete with TikTok, but it's really helped creators go viral on Instagram, which is a huge change because before Reels, people were really struggling to even reach their own communities. In my most recent video, I talked all about engagement on Instagram, reach on Instagram, and how to calculate a good engagement and reach. And even reaching 20% of your own audience is a big deal on Instagram, never mind reaching thousands and thousands of potential new followers. And that's what makes Reels so exciting because that is what it has enabled thousands of creators to do. Case in point, me. I'm a micro-influencer. I have just under 12,000 Instagram followers, but with Reels, I've been able to go viral a few times, and I've definitely seen a bit of growth on my accounts because of it. I've had videos hit 90,000 and even over 100,000 views as someone with a small audience. So if I can do it, you can do it too. And the aspect of going viral does have to do with the Reels algorithm, and Instagram has confirmed that Reels has its own algorithm, so does the Explore page, and so do your regular feed posts. So I'll link a blog post from Instagram down below if you'd like to read more about how they say the algorithms work. Let's get right into how to create a Reel and how to optimize it for discoverability. I prefer to create Reels outside of the Instagram app for several reasons I'll tell you about in a little bit, but I want to show you how to create a Reels within Instagram, and I just want to start super simple, as in you can do this as soon as you're done watching this video. Now, I'm going to show you a screen recording of me actually going through this process, which I did before I filmed this video. So there are two different places on Instagram where you can create Instagram Reels, and I'm going to screen record so I can show you exactly what this looks like. So on the top of your Instagram home screen, there is a plus button, and you'll have the option to create a post, story, but we're gonna swipe on over to Reels, and I'm locking my camera right now, so this is what it looks like to actually create within Reels. Now, the other way you can do this is if you're swiping through your Reels tab, you'll see a camera icon on the top right corner. Go ahead and press that, and you'll be able to record as well. So to record an Instagram Reel within the app, I find it helpful to choose your audio first. So what I like to do is scroll through my Reels tab and see if there's any audios that kind of catch my eye. So I was scrolling through and I saw my friend Mindy, who has a podcast called Influencer Education, using this Kardashian, I don't know which one, I'm sorry, probably Kim, one of the Kardashians' audio to say, not into it, not my thing, so not approved by me. So that was an audio that she used, and I was inspired by her Reel and wanted to create my own. So what I'm going to do is go in and open up Reels, and since I did it from Mindy's video, I was able to tap her audio and use this exact audio that she used, so I don't have to go searching for it again. So from here, I'm going to set a timer for 3 seconds using the timer button on the left side so that it'll give me 3 seconds to prepare myself before I actually film this. So then I'm going to press the Reels button. 3, 2, 1.
It's never been my thing.
And you'll see me recording the actual audio.
Not approved by me.
And this is a 5-second Reel, so I really want to show you how straightforward and how easy this is to just get going on right away. And so now I can go in and I could add a voiceover if I wanted to, but since I'm talking in this one, I don't have to. I can see that my camera audio is all the way down, and so you'll just hear the audio that I used from Reels. And from there, I can go ahead and add text to this Reel. So you can press the button at the top just like you would with Instagram stories and decide on what text you want to include in your Reel. So I liked what Mindy did with thinking about, oh, the only way influencers can earn money is through brand deals. And so I kind of wanted to do a similar thing since we do have similar content, and think about how I could inspire creators to, you know, get more excited about passive income. So I'm saying, you know, trading dollars for hours instead of utilizing passive revenue. And then it matches with the audio, right? Like, never really been my thing, not that into it, because I want other content creators to create passive revenue streams as well. So I can change my font, I can change the color, and I can change the placement. And I'm gonna go ahead and place that right above my head. And you can also tap on the text at the bottom of the screen to adjust the duration. So if you've seen text change in Reels before, you can choose how much of the video you want that text to be displayed on the screen for. And so then I'll kind of watch it again, make sure it looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and save it as a draft for now. We're gonna talk about caption and hashtags in a little bit, but when you save it as a draft, you can adjust the cover image. There is a little bit of a glitch, at least for me, where it doesn't always save. So something to watch out for, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Now I will say, if you're creating Reels or even a TikTok inspired by a particular audio, it's probably easiest to create that right within the app. However, a lot of times I'm creating videos where I'm going to choose an audio later depending on a trending sound, and my video doesn't depend on lining up with audio. So when it doesn't matter which audio I want to use, I will create my videos using InShot. So InShot is a free app that you can use on your phone, and basically what I'm able to do is import video clips and pull them out, stitch them together, do all of the editing and stuff, and this way it won't have a watermark on it. And I'll also show you in this video how to save a TikTok without a watermark too. This is just the easiest way because I can then upload that video file to both TikTok and Reels, and from there I can kind of optimize within either app or platform. So for Reels, I can add the text as you just saw, I could even add voiceover, I can do all of that within Reels, but I've done the basic video editing outside of the app so that I can also share it to TikTok, and I could even probably share it to Pinterest as well. You can use Pinterest to link back to your content as well to hopefully get more views on your content. So I'm just going to slightly speed through the editing process on my screen of how I took two videos, one of me in a summer outfit and one of me in a fall outfit, and put them together using InShot to create a cool transition video that I posted on September 1st to show, oh, I'm transitioning from summer to fall vibes. Now I'll show you how I upload that content to Reels. So once I make sure the video is where I want it, I'm going to upload that to Reels and make sure that I select the correct time, because you can upload a Reels that's 15, 30, or 60 seconds. I'm gonna select my audio and I'm going to use August by Taylor Swift because she has that line about how August slipped away into a moment in time. So I thought that would be appropriate for my transition into fall. So I can line up the portion of the song that I want to use. And what's nice is Instagram will actually suggest the most commonly used portion of the song. So if you're trying to replicate a trend, hopefully it starts right where you want it to, but you can always drag accordingly. Then, as I already showed you, I'll go in and add a text, and I'll adjust the duration of the text. I'll change the font colors to what I want them to look like, and then I will be ready to go. Now, in terms of choosing a cover image for your Reels, you can choose any point of the video to be the cover image, and whether you want to include text in it or not, you can adjust it based on what the square preview will look like on your feed. So you can see here me kind of dragging it around to find what I want, if I were just choosing a frame from the video. But what I like to do is actually upload a separate cover image. So I can do add from camera roll, and I did take some photos to accompany this video because I knew I wanted to have a cover photo for my Reels. So what I did was I actually uploaded this photo to my Instagram stories. I typed in a little headline so that if someone's just looking at my Reels feed, they'll know exactly what the video is about. And then I saved that before posting it to my stories. So I didn't post that image to stories at all. I just used it to get the text above there. And what I can do now is go and position this cover image so that the text is not showing, and I can even zoom it in. So I have the option to kind of keep it on my feed and keep my feed looking consistent. And I've actually been having a lot of fun with my Reels cover photos lately. I feel like it gives me the opportunity to throw in maybe filler photos that typically haven't performed well for me in the past, or do something a bit more editorial or more out there to kind of keep a consistent look on my feed. So I've been having a lot of fun with that lately. Now, one thing I wanted to mention is, for me, if I save it as a draft after I've uploaded a cover image from my camera roll, Instagram does not currently save it. So just be careful and make sure that right before you go to upload your reel, that you have the cover image you want and you have it in the cropping that you want to fit on your feed. Now, while we're on the subject of sharing your reel to your feed, I did just want to show you one thing to be aware of when you share your reel. So I think you should always share your reel to your feed just to maximize views, have it show up in the feed as well as the Reels tab. It can't hurt, and you can even share your reel to your stories to get more exposure. But just in terms of feed, if I tap into this reel that I ended up uploading, there are two things. So first of all, if you don't want it to stay on your feed after like 48 hours, you think it's kind of run its course, you can actually tap the three buttons in the top right-hand corner and choose remove from profile grid. So this won't delete your reel, but it will remove it from your feed so that your feed will go back to looking how it was. So it's just nice to know you have that option. However, if you do remove it from your feed, you can't put it back. The other thing I wanted you to be aware of is to make sure that all of your text for your reel falls within the frame of this 4x5 preview, because even though a reel has a dimension of 9x16, it's only going to preview a 4x5 of it in the feed. So you don't want someone missing out on your great content because the text is partially cut off, or they don't really know what's going on because they don't have any context. So one thing that you can do, I learned this trick from Vanessa Lau, is you can actually go to upload your content and you can preview it as a feed post. So how can you make sure that all of the text is within the 4x5 preview? You can screen record your video, and I happen to screen record the version that I did in TikTok, so that's why you're seeing the watermark here. But anyway, if you push the button on the bottom left corner to make sure you expand it to 4x5, and don't pull it up or down, because that's what's going to display automatically as that middle part of it, you'll be able to see if your text fits within the 4x5 preview frame, and then you'll be good to go. Now let's talk about how I like to repurpose content from TikTok for Instagram Reels, because I personally find TikTok to be a more intuitive editing experience. I find it to be less glitchy than Reels personally, so it's very common for me to create something on InShot, upload it to TikTok, and then once I have all my overlay text and sound there, repurpose it for Instagram Reels. So let me show you how to do that. So this will work for TikTok drafts. This does not work for published TikToks, but in a draft, you can go to preview what it will look like. And if you see the button in the top right corner, that little square, that is going to be your game changer, because if you tap it, that ghost screen overlay will go away. So you're able to screen record without all of the like and comment and profile kind of ghost features that TikTok will show you in the preview. So you might have to run through your video 1 or 2 times to make sure you appropriately screen record the whole thing. When you're done, stop screen recording, and then you can go in and edit that video to make sure that it doesn't have the screen recording stop and start at the ends, and also that you crop the edges, because it will show your whole phone screen and you just want to make sure you crop it back to 9x16. So either keep the audio, or if you want, you can mute the audio of the video and use a different audio for Instagram Reels. And unless it is specifically created for a certain sound, I do recommend A/B testing different audios with Instagram and Reels just to see if there's one that performs better than the other. One thing that's actually pretty cool about Instagram Reels that you can't do on TikTok is add a long caption, just like you can with any other Instagram post. So if I go and tap into the video that I showed you earlier about trading dollars for hours and passive revenue streams, if you look at the bottom, you'll see the first few lines, and then if you tap on more, you're actually able to scroll through and read the whole caption that I wrote out here. And if I look at this on my feed, you'll see that it looks just like a regular caption on Instagram. So you can use your Reels, and I ended up adding actually a call to action right before I posted this one about read the caption for passive income ideas, so that it prompts someone to spend a longer amount of time with my content and go through and engage and actually read the whole thing that I wrote down. And when you're thinking about being in front of a brand new audience instead of your existing community that knows you, the longer you can get them to stay with your content, get to know you, get to like you, get to trust you, the better chance that they'll convert to being a follower. So with Reels, you always want to think about, am I adding value? Am I entertaining? Am I sharing something inspirational? And think about what the person watching it is getting out of it and what might make them inclined to share it with a friend or save it for later or actually engage with it by liking or leaving a comment. And I did want to say a word about best practices for adding hashtags to your Reels. So Instagram has recently revealed 2 different things about hashtags. The first is that you want to put your hashtags in the caption of your post, not the comments. News to me as someone who's been putting them in the comments for 3 years and was told it didn't matter where they go. In a recent blog post, Instagram explained that this will start factoring more into search. They want to improve search on Instagram, and so it's better to have your hashtags in the caption rather than the comments. And then another thing Instagram actually recently shared is that the ideal amount of hashtags to put on a reel is between 3 and 5. And they shared this in their creator zine of fashion and beauty stuff. I'll leave these links below in case you want to go do any digging on your own. But basically what they said is between 3 and 5 hashtags is good for reels. Anything above that, Instagram might actually consider to be spammy. And so I did 6 here because I guess I couldn't help myself, but I did tips by Austen, which is one of my branded hashtags. If you go to that hashtag, you'll see all of the different posts where I have captions that help out creators, but I also have some other tags that are just hyper relevant to this content specifically. So I chose, content creation, passive revenue, creator tips, kind of a variety of sizes of hashtags too, because it's good to try to show up on different sizes of hashtags as well. So that is kind of some advice in terms of captioning your content and also best practices for hashtags on Reels. Now, a quick word on your account type and how it relates to Instagram Reels. So there are 3 different accounts that you can have on Instagram. You can have a private Instagram account, a business account, or a creator account. Now, I have a creator account and everything I just showed you was me creating Reels using my creator account. But there are a few differences if you do have a business account or if you have a private account. So as you can probably guess, with a private account, that just means that your content will only be shown to your followers, and the same applies for Reels. So if you do have a private account right now, you most likely won't go viral from posting a Reel unless you already have 1 million followers, because only those followers will be able to see the Reel that you posted. So I don't recommend having a private account if you want to optimize Reels, because you're not going to be able to get that visibility and use the Reels algorithm, which is what has propelled a lot of people's growth. And one note about business accounts is business accounts are limited in what kind of music they can use. So they can only use license-free music on their Reels. So if you are a business, it might be a little bit harder to capitalize on trending sounds, which just means that you really need to make sure your content is super engaging and that you're not just dependent on trends. And that brings me to the last thing I want to discuss in this video, which is finding ideas for what to create on Reels. Because now that you know how to do it, I'm sure you're really ready to get into it, start putting out that video content, and see what Reels can do for your account. So there are really 2 types of content that you can create for Instagram Reels. The first is trends, and we've talked about that a lot throughout this video. So you can take a trending audio and apply it to your own niche, and I think that's really fun because it allows people to get creative, but it also allows people to see all the different interpretations of trends that are already out there. So feel free to take your time with this, set aside an hour to actually really scroll through Reels and see what stands out to you. Save any trending audios that you find interesting. You can even save the Reels or send yourself the videos if you want to make a running list of videos that have inspired you to create content, so that by the time you actually sit down to film, you have a whole ton of stuff right in front of you ready to go and you're not scrambling wondering, what should I post today? What should I film? Just so overwhelmed. I would also highly recommend following the creators account. It's run by Instagram and they've been posting these weekly trend reports so you can actually see what type of content is trending on Instagram Reels. And then another suggestion I have is to think about some evergreen content ideas that will outlive and outlast the trends, because that is going to be the most important type of content that people will keep coming back to you for and that they'll look to you for as an expert. So for me as a fashion and beauty creator, that might involve makeup tips, that might involve showing different ways to style you know, kind of classic all season pieces like denim or a white t-shirt or even just different accessories and things like that. So it's important to think about all of those types of content pieces in addition to the trends, because trends have a shorter life cycle than evergreen content does anyway. I find looking to my content pillars is a great way to brainstorm evergreen content ideas. And if you're new to creation or you don't have content pillars yet, I wanted to let you know that I do have a free guide that you can download right now. It's called the Influencer Launchpad, and it'll get you set up with all of what you need to be successful, to grow a flourishing Instagram account, and to ultimately attract and work with your dream brand partners. So you can grab that at the link down below in the description box, or just head straight to austentosone.com/subscribe. That'll also put you on my free weekly newsletter that goes out every Wednesday with tons of different tips for content creators about pretty much everything that has to do with this crazy industry. So I hope you consider subscribing and grabbing your free guide after you watch this video. I truly feel like we covered so much today. So if you have any questions about anything I talked about in today's video, leave me a comment down below. I always do my best to read and reply to as many comments as I possibly can. Don't forget to also say hi to me over on Instagram or send me a DM if there's something you want to chat about more in depth. I love hearing from you guys and getting to meet you, and it's crazy how the internet can really just bring us all together. So don't be shy, come say hello and send me a DM. That's all from me this week. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for new videos every Tuesday. Don't forget to turn on your notifications so that you don't miss any videos from me. I promise there's some really good ones coming up. I've got my schedule for the next few weeks planned. There's gonna be some good stuff here. And give me a thumbs up if you found this video helpful. Until then, I will see you guys next Tuesday, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.